if you are someone who cannot decide things so fast, I think it's best you start out about 4 months earlier. As of now, or 4 months earlier.
And you need more time to decide the materials.
Yeah, you need more. Exactly. But if you are a fast, decisive kind of person, I think a good 3 months, I would say.
All right, welcome back to our So Far So Good series with PropertyLimBrothers. We are very happy to have you with us inside our studio, and hope that everybody is doing well in phase 2 of this season. And of course, I think it's great news for Singapore that we are gradually opening up, and that's great for the real estate industry as well. I mean, over the past couple of weeks since phase 2, we've seen like so many buyers coming on the market looking for homes, and past couple of weekends has been very busy for PropertyLimBrothers, and I believe for owners who have previously bought their properties and they're in the midst of renovation, and renovation was actually paused during that 2.5 month circuit breaker season, and now I think it's great news for the renovation industry. So today, what we're going to talk about is everything about renovation, and with us we have, of course, one of the experts when it comes to interior renovation, and I have with me Terence, and later Terence will be coming on stream shortly. So just a brief introduction about who our guest is today. So Terence has been an owner of his interior design firm for the last 10 years, and he specializes in helping homeowners to renovate their properties, and he is somebody who we know for a couple of years already, and he has been helping us and our clients with some of their renovation projects. He has also been helping PLB team with 2D and 3D modeling, visualization, and drawing wherever we need to solve some problems. We need to solve some perspectives. Plus, he also helps us with a couple of quotations when we need to, maybe see how much does it cost to put back a wall, to reinstate certain stuff and things like that. So I think Terence has been a great help, and he's a very experienced ground person on the ground, and his team has formed, I think, a great synergy when it comes to managing renovation projects. So very happy to have Terence with us today. So let me just bring him on. Hey, Terence.
Hey, hi guys. Hey. Thanks, Melvin. Thank you.
Terence.
Thank you for having me here. Yeah, I'm good. Hope you're
thank you. Thank you. Well. I think this definitely will be a very busy season for you. Now we are third to fourth week since phase 2 reopening. How have things been for the renovation industry?
Back then was the lifting of circuit breaker. What happened was all the suspended work are allowed to resume, and we are very, very busy to get everything restarted back again.
Right.
Following up the regulations set upon by MOM, the multi-ministry task force that to adhere to some safety distancing, not to overcrowd the job site. It's a confined space, so and a lot of documentation to submit as well in order for you to get approval to start work. Things are easing out a little bit. I think after numerous feedback from our trade peers, that documentations really is killing us, to submit all the workers in for a pre-approval. So more or less right now, all the works are allowed to resume, provided you have made a proper submission on the personnel that is going on site to work. And most of this suspended work, we are in fact handling over and focusing right now are the new jobs, starting from brand new, from scratch, and that's what happening right now.
Right. So I saw, I've been following the news as well for the renovation industry, because a couple of our clients that have bought properties in the pre-circuit breaker season, their renovation was stuck, right? And we also heard some materials were stuck in Malaysia, some carpenters, they cannot come out and stuff like that. So. I saw the news that from 15 June, which was a couple of weeks back, all renovations work can resume, but you guys have to submit documents to BCA and stuff like that. Am I right, or is there I also saw that there's safe distancing, as in there cannot be more than 1 or 2 contractors in the property, and something along this line. Maybe you can share with us some of the guidelines, and probably does it affect the timeline right now to complete a project for typical properties?
Sure. Okay. In terms of adhering to the regulation, I think first and foremost, we have to clear the workers. They have to go for swab tests. Okay, so that's number one. They can resume the work because especially for those, I would say, for those who are non-dom staying foreign workers with work permit holders, they can resume work while they are scheduled for a swab test.
Oh, and so before they resume work, they have to go for a swab test.
No, they can resume.
Okay.
They can resume work first for non-dom work permit holders. Okay.
Right.
Reason why? Because they are serving their stay-home notice, during the circuit breaker period while staying in Singapore.
Right.
Okay. So they can resume work while waiting for the queue to call them for the swab test, which will happen every 2 weeks. And that also translates back to delays. Why I say that? Because every 2 weeks they have to go back, and for example, this second week the worker's supposed to add on to work on a certain project site, but however, because of the test, they have to adjourn themselves to the testing center, and they cannot come to the job site. So some minor adjustment that we have to make along the way, to readjust ourselves. Okay. Other areas like the standard protocols of right now, the new norms is scanning in, to the safe entry. Apart from that, in terms of worker deployment, some of the suppliers, workers, we will say that they can only deploy 50% because some of them are still not cleared by the ministry, I would say. So we are more or less likely to experience some delays. Delays meaning, I would say, not very tremendous. For example, if let's say we are talking about our use norm of 4 weeks completion, right now, give ourselves a little bit of buffer, about 5.5 weeks. This kind of arrangement.
Probably about 2 weeks lah.
About that, within that basis. So we on our part, we are monitoring very, very closely on each of the projects that we undertake. So to not to have a heart attack for the homeowners, the project has been delayed for 2-3 weeks and things like that. Nobody can accept us. They have their obligation to hand over to for some instances to the new buyer as well for their existing home. So we keep them updated. Any lapses, if not, then everything should be as per our planned schedule.
How about costs? How about the material cost? Has it increased during this period? Like, for example, carpentry costs or wet works. Has there been material cost increment?
So as to speak, right now there isn't. Okay, there isn't any, but likelihood that we will be experiencing that, because that was the the news that is within our groups of subcontractors and things like that. They are speculating that prices may increase.
Why is it so? Why are prices increasing? I mean, and is it just the material, or is it also the labor as well?
I think that there are many components to that. I think cost of operation wise is the main part of it. Having right now, it's a really difficult period for a lot of industry, and not only towards the renovation. You have your factory, you have your showroom, you have your offices where you can't basically make full optimization of it during that period. And even right now, with all the safety distancing, how many people can work inside, you still require to work from home. You're still paying the amount of, the overhead expenses. But what is the productivity like? 50% or, it depends on various
a lot of fixed overheads are still running.
Yeah, exactly. So end of the day, what will happen? Things will have to lift it up a bit, to compensate, with the shortage, and everyone is snatching for workers, especially when the Malaysian doesn't come out. Most of our, workers are from Malaysia. So,
so can the Malaysian workers come out already?
think some of them, for my case, those Malaysian workers that we have worked with, they are in Singapore.
Already
They
in
are in
Singapore.
Singapore. Yeah, they are already in Singapore, but some of them are still in Malaysia. So I think they're still waiting for more news release whether they can come back or not. Or because even their MCO is ending about August, I guess. End of August. Yeah, correct. But that one local wise, we still have our group of people. Only part of them are still stranded there. Yeah, correct. And that constitute to some of the price increment also, because lack of worker, everyone is grabbing, and I won't be surprised that some of the companies will check up a little bit because of the demand. Yeah, correct. That's
so
what
has there been a lot of pent-up demand since the reopening? How have you seen your timeline been in terms of your business? Like, has there been like a lot of inquiries coming in, and like what's happening right now?
Okay, inquiries, we are experiencing a little bit increment in terms of the numbers of inquiries. Compared to previously. I think a lot of homeowners are also frightened by the sudden stoppage. It's always good to plan early lah. I would put it this way. It's always good to plan early. Yeah. So right now,
people are meeting you earlier, but they're not necessarily starting work. It's just that they want to plan earlier.
Yep, some of them. Yeah.
I see.
Some of the customers are in this scenario lah. So they are getting keys probably in end of this year, but they are starting to scout around ID firms. Yeah. So I think this is really a good move. To start early. But not to the extent 1 year. 1 year ahead, they come and look for us. That could be a bit early because prices may escalate and quotation may not be so valid. To the date that they started.
So, in your opinion, what is the advice for a typical homeowner that how early before the collection of keys should they start to meet up with a renovation firm already?
Okay, that would also depends on the type of owner. You must know who you are. If you are someone who cannot decide things so fast, I think it's best you start out about 4 months earlier. As of now, or 4 months earlier.
You need more time to decide the materials.
Yeah, you need more. Exactly. But if you are a fast, decisive kind of person, I think a good 3 months, I would say. Yeah, you can sell it. Yeah, 3 months before the key collection, you can start scouting around. Talking to people.
So about 3 to 4 months before that.
Yep, around there.
Great. And let's talk a little bit about the probably some of the renovation trends that has been happening in year 2020 and then possibly in year 2021. So what are some of the key trends that are very popular nowadays? Like when it comes to maybe renovating a typical 3 or 4 bedroom condominium. What are some of the design trends that you have seen like coming on stream so far?
Okay, we have seen quite a bit of modern luxury right now.
Okay.
Meaning to say, modern luxury. I think having a good blend with a lot of things that carpentry makes wonder because of the endless selection of the prints that you have for your carpentry doors. The carcass or this. So we've seen quite a number of people asking for hey, I want my cabinet to have marble vine finishes. So it looks a bit more luxurious. These are the things that we've seen through this year. Okay, but not forgetting that there are still
finishes.
Yep.
Right.
Marble vine finishes but it's still a laminate but it has a marble look like cream.
Okay, right.
So
right.
yeah, correct. So
some of the ones that you see in show flats and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And some may still be very, very conservative and going back to the modern contemporary. Okay, wood grains being used. Okay, Scandinavian. And we have seen also a mixture of like for example Scandinavian with rustic. Kind of finishes. So it really depends on what speaks about you, I will put it this way. And we collaborate with, we work with the homeowners very, very carefully to know exactly what they want and what will suit best for them and for when we do up the proposal.
All right. So I think it's a mixture. It's still a mixture of trends, lah. I mean, different people still require different things. I mean, do you see people? I mean, like maybe all your projects in a particular year, are people also exploring more on the minimalist approach, or is really a huge mixture?
Actually, it's a fair share of everything for us. What we have gone through, we have people also, I want things to be uncluttered, as white as possible, mono colors, they wanted to have for their homes, using basic colors. Yeah, there are as well. I would say it is really a fair share of the good mix of every team that they want, every homeowner want. Yeah, correct.
Right. And probably, I mean, over the past, because you've been doing renovation for the past 10 years, right? So typically when you look at a project in the entire timeline, let's say you complete a project within maybe within 5 weeks to 8 weeks, depending on the size of the house itself. What are some of the more expensive mistakes that you have noticed? Like maybe it's not your own project, but you have seen some other projects, or maybe hear from your industry. What are some of the more expensive mistakes, or maybe how do consumers prevent making this kind of mistakes when they're renovating their home?
Mistakes. Okay.
Or maybe
due to the current, I can share something about due to the current situation. I can share something. There are ID firms which got their carpentries from Malaysia. I think you are also aware. Of course, you're gonna get some cost saving having imported from Malaysia because of the exchange rate and the price difference, and you're getting a much more lower price than having a Singapore-made carpentry work to be placed in your house, right? Okay, and with this lockdown, what happened? Nothing can come out from Malaysia to Singapore, and a lot of homeowners are stranded in between without their carpentry coming. I'm not sure it doesn't happen to us, because for us we use Singapore,
local carpenters.
Local carpenters. So it hasn't affected us. My carpenter came to me and say he has an influx of inquiries coming in, rush work, because most of this ID firm actually got their carpentry items from Malaysia, which they are unable to bring it in for the installation here. Yeah, so that's what we have experienced, and that also boils down to I wouldn't say it's a mistake, it all boils down to also pricing. Do you buy based on price, or do you really buy based on the actual quality of the materials? More than often we hear stories from homeowners, even when we have ever been to abandoned projects, the designer ran away and we are in there, so-called to save the day, to save the day, and to record.
Is that very common?
Throughout this year, quite a number of them, quite a number of them. So this thing happened, and a lot of time they share with me that they really choose based on price. It's too attractive to reject. When the price is too attractive to reject, and you really have to dig in as a homeowner, to look at their reviews, to look at their previous projects, that is the certain things to mitigate, all this mishap from happening when you put your signature on the dotted lines.
Right. Right now, for the renovation industry, there's still no government body that is regulating the industry at this moment, right?
There is.
For
HDB, for HDB, it's definitely HDB governing all the rules and regulation in terms of the
for renovation. You need to have a HDB license. Okay.
We have to have a HDB license in order to carry out work in a HDB.
Right. How about private properties?
Private property, no. Private property, no. Okay,
there's no okay.
there
Yeah,
is no
so maybe do
regulation
you
for
have
that.
some tips for consumers like when they are selecting an ID firm? I mean, apart from online platforms that they can look at reviews and look
Sure.
at everybody's portfolio and stuff like. If you are a consumer, I mean, having been in the industry for 10 years, and definitely I think you have a certain set of workflow to make sure that your guys perform the job to the client satisfaction. So let's say if you are a customer now, what would be some of the tips for customers to select the right firm? Like how do they go about the selection process, and what should they because sometimes we know that the cheapest firm, the cheapest quotation might not be really the best experience, right? And
True.
it's not everything about price. It's also about the relationship with your ID firm, the entire process, and then whether your ID when they manage the project, do they always go down to the job site to check and to organize the whole project? So maybe what are some of the tips that you have for consumers?
Okay, I think you're right that to say that it's not just about price and materials, but it's the overall experience, the service level that they can give you. Okay, I think in general, do compare with multiple, ID. Okay, most importantly, make sure that they are for HDB. Of course, you want to make sure that they are HDB accredited contractor. Apart from that, if you happen to have the chance, go on to their project sites, see and look for yourself, on how they fare for their previous, maybe current, maybe completed with the arrangement. Like what we do is sometimes we can, everyone would not say, will not say that, hey, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. Nobody will tell you that. Everyone will tell you, I'm very, very good at this, I'm very, very good at that. For us, we just want to be very, very sincere. We open up the doors, I mean, with arrangement with some of the previous owners, having them agree on. We bring our prospect to the projects where the owner already stayed in, let them have a feel on how we, what's the completed product like, they touch and feel all this. Yeah, so I think that will probably give you a better confidence level, after the visitation, to see whether are we the right person that you can work with. In terms of other areas will be like project management. So that is part of the thing that they can hear from our previous customer, how we fare, almost honest feedback from the horse's mouth, where they have experienced our service before. That's what we do.
Right. Great. Maybe just out of curiosity, maybe you can share with our audience, like, what got you started? Like, why? Why the renovation industry? What got you started to have such a strong interest? And then you have been doing this for 10 years. Yeah. I can still see that you have the passion and the fire to do what you do every day. And I know you're a very busy man. You're always running around different job sites.
Yes, exactly.
Personally overlooking the project yourself. Yeah. So what gave you the passion to do this?
What gave me the passion? Okay, how I came into the renovation industry was I entered into a construction builder firm with my brother-in-law. I worked for him in charging on the residential renovation and interior design segment of the company. So from there, I know nuts about all this, seriously. And I learned everything from scratch. Being on very on the ground person, I stayed on the job site for many hours, to know exactly what the workers are working on, how they do it. I know that it's a very, very difficult process to learn, but I just have to get my hands dirty down to the site, ask a lot of questions, do a lot of read-ups, that's what I did initially when I joined this industry. And I think the most satisfying thing about in this industry is having an old place, converted into a brand new, home for the new owners. That always, keep us motivated, to do more, to do more for our clients, you more than often see satisfaction in their face when they walk in to take over their keys, although nothing is perfect, I would say, they're bound to be touch up here and there, but you can see, when we manage the project well for them, you can see that they are very, very thankful to us. So that keeps us going.
The transformation of the old new place.
Yeah, correct. A new facelift to the home. That also an accomplishment for us. We can actually
see the finished product.
Exactly. From the 3D to a reality. So yeah, that's always make us excited. We want to see the real finish because the real finish is always better than the 3D.
Right. Yeah. So share with us, what's your typical day like?
Well, typical. I start off my day very, very early. Normally
what time
on the
do you
day, I will hit my first job site at 9 a.m. normally. 9 a.m. Okay, and I'll run through all the job site. Okay, till about in the afternoon. Go for appointments in the afternoon or in the evening. Yeah, then quotation, after which setting all the quotation. Make sure that everything gets out on time.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. And so you end your day with quotation, but in the day is all
job sites. Yeah.
Right. How many job sites do you typically run a day?
Depending on the jobs, right now we have about 4 to 5 jobs on hand myself. I'm running about 4 to 5 places, every day. So I always make it a practice to visit the site daily, so that in any case of any mistake that the workers make, we can make an immediate action, to rectify, before things get worse. It can't be rectified because it has been done. That is why I'm always very, very so-called on the ball in terms of going to check the site, make sure that things are happening on time, the workers arrive, things like that.
Right.
Yeah, to ensure in terms of the project management wise.
Right. So with the rise of so much information on the media and internet, right? And I think in recent years there has also been a trend of a lot of homeowners doing their renovation themselves. So we call it the DIY renovation. That means homeowners, they themselves becomes the project manager, and they coordinate their own direct contractors, and they go to the job site and time the whole renovation process and things like that. So I think that has grown in trend. Of course, we all understand, having an interior design firm to take over the design, the planning, the renovation, oversee the work, checking the work, handing over. This is part of the process of, as a consumer, if I want to buy somebody's time and experience and their expert advice, I will pay to do that, right? So for people who go for the DIY route, yes, definitely they can cut some costs, but of course in exchange, their own time is spent coordinating the entire job. So it's a matter of, do you want to buy people's time and expertise, or do you want to do it yourself? So for the DIY route, definitely I think there has been success cases, and probably some people they enjoy the process themselves, right? So probably what are some of your advice for like DIY homeowners, or maybe like people who are planning to do DIY? Like, do you have any form of advice and insights? Let's say somebody definitely just want to do DIY, right? What are some of the advice and things so that they can try not to make too much mistakes on that that portion?
I think it's possible if you really have the time, because you are not a master to this trade. I think there's a lot of commitment involved, to manage this particular project or your own project well. I guess that the homeowner must be prepared to spend most of the time on site. Do ask if let's say they are getting individual contractors, don't feel shy to ask which come first. You won't want to, be surprised when your false ceiling is up okay, without having your wiring done. This is a major surprise. Okay, your wiring should come before your false ceiling. Things like that. Do check out with the worksman on the so-called processes also. I think most of the people...
who comes first and who comes later.
Yeah, the sequence, the worksmen, they should know, they know which step they are supposed to come in, you don't expect the plumber to come in for HDB, you don't expect the plumber to come in without the tiles laid. They won't be able to run the water pipes, the tiles has been laid, has to be laid first, even aircons or this, for trunking to run over the so-called the existing tiles or this. So tiling has to be first lah. And of course, hacking will come very, very primarily lah. So the last stage will be like carpentry or this. So homeowners, I would suggest them to really check with the worksman itself, for the stages of work, So my advice is they have to really prepare, to stay on site for quite a long time to ensure that things are okay and they don't get smoked by the contractors. That's always happening, getting smoked by the contractors, a lot of people are doing this, Yeah.
Right.
So,
I mean, is it easy to, in your own experience, if let's say now you're not a renovation ID owner, ID shop owner, if you're a consumer, in your perspective, having done this for 10 years, is it easy to work with different contractors? Okay, how many contractors are involved in, let's say, renovating a 3-bedroom condominium? How many contractors are involved? If there are hacking, wet works, everything is like hacked and redone. How many contractors are on the whole project?
Okay, whole project, if you're looking at full scale, I think about 10 easily 10 different groups of workers.
Okay.
10 different.
Are you okay to name us the 10 different?
Okay. For example, I just spoke out a figure. Okay, we have our hacker, our tiler, okay, followed by our electrician, our plumber, our aircon, okay, our glass supplier, tabletop supplier, okay. Then we have our carpenters, our painters. Our washers, okay, the one who cleans up, and not forgetting if you have different set of finishes for your bedroom and living. For example, vinyl will be used in your bedroom. That involves the vinyl suppliers, or even parquet. It involves a parquet suppliers that make it 11. And more to that, depending on the scope of the work. The basic I named to you about 10 already.
Yeah. So about 10 to maybe 15 if they're wallpaper, blinds.
Exactly. Or decking, or even with blinds, So it all adds up. Yeah.
Right. So it's really the coordination of all this plus who comes first and okay. Right.
Correct. And correct. I would say that.
Okay. So is it easy working with like so many groups of people? How do you manage it? What kind of skill sets do you need to have to manage it? And it's like some of this is like not just one project. You're handling like 4 to 5 different projects. It's like easily 40 to 50 coordination with 10 different groups. What kind of skill sets are needed? For your industry, let's say somebody wants to come into the renovation industry. What kind of skill sets do you need to have? What soft skills or things like that?
Definitely, I would tell our industry, what skill sets are okay.
Yeah. If you are going to recruit an apprentice, right?
Right.
You're recruiting an apprentice to work.
Has to be hardworking lah. Has to be hardworking for sure.
Yeah, but how do you manage so many groups of people for so many projects? Like,
I think time management is a very essential part of the thing that we need to have time management. You need to take you need to carve out some time to do up the planning, all this thing. Make sure that things get exactly as planned. Things move on exactly as planned. In terms of coordination wise, you just have to be very, very on the ball. Go down to tell your contractors or your workers, what need to be done.
Right.
These are the thing. I think all boils down to hardworking lah. You has to be very, very hardworking in order to be in this industry.
Right.
But also work smart lah. Work smart lah. You know,
Right.
time
Time
management
management.
wise.
And I think
Time management is very, very important.
You probably need a lot of EQ and social skills to
exactly.
to talk to different people.
Because you are the middleman between the homeowners and the workers. I put it this way. You know, you really need to learn to talk to different levels of people. You know, so that is also part of the the social skills that you need to have. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, for that time when for my own place.
Yeah.
Because we didn't do any major renovation. We were in the rush to move. We wanted to do our renovation probably end of this year. So we coordinated just 2 people, you know, like one is the painter.
All right.
One is the person who varnished the floor.
All right.
And then we actually put it on different days. And my wife was at home, I was at work, and then but one group got delayed. So their work was delayed, and the 2 groups met in the house. And then they were quarreling because the one that's supposed to varnish the floor was quarreling with the painter, you know, and I mean, I think it's really not easy. And then my wife just said that, she definitely don't want to open an ID firm. I mean, it's just so difficult to manage different contractors and things.
You're about to bump into this situation. You know, sometimes we even ourselves we bump into this kind of situation where 2 workers arrive, maybe one is late, or this,
and they clash.
They clash into each other. That there's no room for each other to commence the work. Correct. All this happen, and that's why I always say that proper planning, proper planning and
sequencing,
ensuring reminders to our workers, to be, the day before the work start, you have to be on site what time and things like that. And this is how we actually ensure and control the situation without the mishap of what you have faced previously.
Right. So I think even with this current COVID situation, what we have seen is that for renovation, definitely the work has to stop, right? Because contractors are not allowed to enter into the residents' place of staying. But definitely renovation is something that will last all the way because it's a needed kind of thing for all homes. So moving ahead, like currently, what are some of the, maybe just a last question is, what are some of the changes that you have done to your business in the way that you meet up with your clients? Are you doing like more Zoom already and things like that, like, or resuming face-to-face? And how do you foresee, like, if let's say in 3 to 4 years down the road, if we have the next pandemic example, right? Pandemic, how do you think the renovation industry would change? What are some of the changes with technology and as well?
I think in terms of what we have experienced during the circuit breaker, a lot of our inquiries were sent through the email. We try as much as possible, to put up a quotation through their listed description, on the works that they do. Alternatively, we did Zoom as well, so that we see each other. It's better to understand, face to face. Although there's this screen barrel there, we can't really meet in person, or even by phone call. All means to get the quotation out, and all means for the owners to have, to know exactly how much it will cost for them to do up their home. But end of the day, we will still need to be physically at the site, I would say. We will still need to be physically there. Physical work, that's one thing. And the next thing is actually to identify the site scenario. Certain works are not as direct as, putting up a cabinet or changing a cabinet's location, for example. Certain things, it may sound easy, but when you are on the ground, you may, this portion is actually linked to another portion, where any attempt to actually, to move this particular portion may affect, other things, So these are things that we have to address on site. So I put it this way: we can only achieve a certain amount of accuracy through Zoom meetings, email quotations, and things like that. So it is still best that for homeowners, if possible, to really go on site, to have everything seen by the ID, to eliminate all hidden costs.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Great. Yeah. Thanks, Terence. So how do our audience find you? I mean, if they need some consultation services to understand more about your service, where do they find you?
You can actually go on to our Facebook or our website. Facebook basically is just search for Premium Artz. So it's
Artz as in ARTZ.
ARTZ, yeah, correct. So I have my number there, so you can actually get in touch with me by call or by WhatsApp. So whichever mode that you're comfortable with. Yep. So yep.
Okay.
Thanks,
Terence. It's been great having you.
Thank you so much, Martin.
Right. So yeah, take care. We'll see you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Sure.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye.